Hello, I'm Dr. Charlie London.
And I'm a guy in a lab coat, and we're going to give you a few facts on climate change so simple, even a child can understand.
You're the child.
No, you're the child.
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 I rest my case.
All right. Climate change is caused by global warming, and global warming is caused through human activity, especially greenhouse gas emissions, which is considered the dominant cause of temperature increases. The greenhouse effect refers to the way the Earth's atmosphere traps and absorbs solar heat. These greenhouse gases trap heat.
Get it? Greenhouse, sometimes called hothouse. It's like your car in the summertime. Heat comes through the window, but it can't get out. That's why you don't leave your children in the car. You don't leave your children in the car.
Moving on! Paleoclimatology, or the study of the changes in climate throughout the Earth's history, uses evidence found in tree rings, ocean sediment, coral reefs, and layers of sedimentary rock to determine that the current warming is occurring roughly 10 times faster than the post-ice age warming.
It's you. You're the problem. Stop looking around. It's you. Find a mirror. There's the problem.
Okay, all right. I think they got the message. Listen, throughout history, people and societies have adjusted and coped with changes in climate and extremes with varying degrees of success. Climate change, drought in particular, has been at least partly responsible for the rise and fall of civilizations.
Food. Do you like food? 'Cause there's gonna be a lot less of it. That means insecurity. When people are hungry and insecure, it ain't pretty. If you mess with my Halloween candy, I'll cut your face.
Whoa, no need for violence. Now, despite increasing awareness of climate change, our emissions of greenhouse gases continue on a relentless rise. In 2013, the daily level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere surpassed 400 parts per million for the first time in human history. The last time levels were that high were about 3 to 5 million years ago during the Pliocene epoch.
For the last 800,000 years, we've been okay. And then since 1950, CO2 is off the charts. We have to stop burning stuff. Duh.
All right, sweetie, let's not insult the people, okay?
You're an insult.
Hey, don't be disrespectful.
You're telling me not to be disrespectful while you trash the planet and my future? Should I respect that? Adults are stupid. You know we only get one planet. Unlike the movies, we don't get to move to Mars. Not that I want to move there anyway. There's no air, and we have to eat poop potatoes. Maybe you want to eat poop potatoes. Well, I'm not eating poop potatoes.
Let me tell you something, young lady. You will finish every bit of poop potatoes on your plate.
You said poop.
Never work with children, okay?
Thanks, Chuck. That was Chuck Nice getting us started. He's been a wonderful partner in this project together. And among many other things, Chuck is also co-host of Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
And Chuck Nice is really an integral part of this experiment with climate comedy. And he has been a part of this in helping to recruit the comedians we worked with. He created some pieces for the show, and he's been the host and really just helping to hold this as somebody who's really an expert in comedy and who deeply cares about and is active on climate change.
The cool thing about comedy is the fact that it allows people to receive a message differently, and that's why we are doing this. So hopefully those of you watching will not only laugh, but you might be inspired to take some action with respect to the climate crisis, or you might, you just might learn something. Oh my God, I just sounded like I'm doing the opening to Fat Albert, It's the Fat Albert Show coming at you with music and fun. If you're not careful, you might learn something before it's done. Hey. All right. I am really delighted. We have 15 comics that have written specific material with respect to the climate crisis. That's what makes this so very special. And they have worked with the students of the University of Colorado, and they have received not only assistance with the information surrounding the climate crisis, but there are subtopics that are involved in the climate crisis that the students have put together in groups. Well, we broke out into groups and we took these topics and then we created material, comedy material around the topics themselves. So this has not been done before. I can say that. Now, whether or not that's a good thing, we're about to find out.
So the first video that we have of a co-creation of climate comedy with our students and a professional comedian is Nat Tosin. He's a stand-up comedian, he's a writer, he's an actor, and he's an activist, and he's coming to us from Brooklyn, New York.
Thank you for having me. I'm coming to you here on location, folks. Very exciting news, you guys. My dad bought a hybrid car.
Yeah!
That's right, let's hear it. Climate crisis, over! Let's wrap it up! Tell Greta Thunberg to hop on the next boat back to Stockholm. Dad's got a Prius. Show's over, folks. No more X. I'm sorry if you prepared something, but my dad has solved the climate crisis. Guys, I know that hybrids are not going to solve the climate crisis, but people get so angry when I tell them that we have a hybrid car. People get so weirdly furious that my dad is trying to kill the planet at 4/5 the speed that they are trying to kill the planet.
Nice.
That's what that's like if my dad littered most of the time and then he decided to recycle 1 out of every 5 times, and you're like, oh, you think you're real? You think you're saving the earth? These people will literally say, they will go like, well, your dad's just gonna drive more because he thinks he has a lower impact. And I'm like, no. The hardware store is the same distance from my dad's house, no matter what car he's driving. Like, the average person is not just going to start driving more because they have slightly better gas mileage. My dad bought a car that uses electricity some of the time. He's not going to start drag racing against Vin Diesel because he knows that you don't turn your back on family. Also, he can't drag race in a Prius that has a top speed of 118 miles an hour anyway. So, that's another thing. People will say that to me. They'll be like, well, hybrids have a really low top speed. And again, my dad's car's top speed is 118 miles an hour. For comparison, like a non-hybrid Camry tops out at 145 miles an hour. And you didn't know that because that makes no difference to anyone that any of us have ever spoken to. Let alone any of, like, what are you complaining about? You are not on the Autobahn. You're taking Route 17 to Schenectady for a conference in the Ramada Inn. You need to drive twice the speed limit. Like, you're worried that the donuts that have been cut in fourths are going to be all gone by the time you get there? They're dry anyway. You're fine. Another one people will say is like, well, I thought about getting one, but hybrids are worse in accidents. And first of all, you're annoying. I hope you do die in a car crash. But... Oh, that's too dark. Well, if that's too dark for you guys, I'm sorry, but you need to check your privilege and think about the climate crisis, because dying in a car crash is the most effective way to reduce your dependence on fossil fuels. So, think before you judge, okay? And also, that's not even true. Hybrids aren't more dangerous in accidents. It's totally just a rumor. Like any car think about it this way. Any car that uses gasoline is powered by explosions. You're driving a bomb either way. Like, if you really want to avoid accidents, just like take public transportation, or if your city doesn't have it, get involved in the fight for expanding public transportation in your area. Subway trains don't usually crash unless the Joker is involved. You'll be fine. Like, have you ever ridden Amtrak? Amtrak conductors have been drunk on the job since like the 70s, and it's totally fine. It's not like they can swerve, okay? Like, worst case scenario, everyone gets whiplash coming out of the station. And then you're in a class action lawsuit, you get a check for $17.23 mailed to you in 4 years, you'll be fine. The best argument, and I will hear this one, there is like one very strong argument against hybrid cars, and that is that you don't want to be associated with Elon Musk. And that's fair. That is totally fair. But like, what car named do you think is unsullied? Like, whose name do you want on your car? Ford trucks are named literally after a man who used to send a birthday card to Hitler. Okay. He was very thoughtful. And on that note, like, what do you think the BMW guys were doing during World War II? Hey, it's okay. They admitted to it 75 years later and did zero action to make up for it. No reparations whatsoever. They just still sell very expensive cars. So then when I'm talking to people about this, like when they run out of arguments, even if I give them the very valid Elon Musk argument, people will just say to me, well, you know what? Hybrid cars alone aren't going to save the earth. I'm like, yeah, no shit. Call your senator, dude. Instead of yelling at my dad for buying a slightly less irresponsible car. Like, it's going to take more. I know, because I agree with you. It's going to take more than consumer choice to counteract climate change. Like, we have to affect the people in power. We're not just going to do this by littering slightly less. Like, you got to join a group like Sunrise Movement or Public Power if you're in New York. Like, go to a rally, take part in a letter writing campaign, assassinate Jeff Bezos. Like, whatever you can do to do your part. All right, guys, I got a few more cars on the lot I got to sell. Those people are waiting on me, and I think I could this is going to be their forever car. So it's been so nice. Thank you for having me, but I got to get back to work. I'm Nat Townsend. Thanks a lot.
That was great. And next up, we have Nicole Conlon. Among many things, she's a comedian and writer for The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and she's originally from Denver, Colorado.
Hi, everybody. 10 seconds ago, I'm in my childhood bedroom right now. I know it looks like I'm on a bus, but I'm in my childhood bedroom, and my father came in here and asked me to help him with his model train set. So let's hope that doesn't happen again, although that is kind of public transportation. So he is on the theme of today. I so happy to be here. I'm here to talk about buses. In case you haven't seen the movie Nobody, it's great. It's our first action hero who takes the bus. This is just a targeted ad for the movie Nobody. I think it's wonderful. I love the bus. One way that I personally fight climate change is by taking the bus. I can drive. I just choose to take the bus. And people hate it when you take the bus. People do not like it. The way people react when I tell them I'm taking the bus makes me think that they don't really know what a bus is. And you tell them like, oh, I got to leave this party. I'm going to go take the bus home. And they're like, you're taking the bus? You're taking the bus? Are you sure? They're so dangerous. Didn't you see Blackfish? It's like, I'm sorry. You think you have killer whales? People are like, you can't take the bus. Nobody takes the bus. You got to drive. The only way to go, don't take the bus. I'll drive you home. You can't take the bus. You got to drive. We'll drive. And then you drive home with them, and those same people are like, look at all this traffic. Why are we going so slow? Ugh, who are all these people? It's like, those are the people who should be on the bus. You scared them off of the bus by making it sound like they were going to the movies in a pile of spiders. Like the bus rules. The bus kicks ass. The bus beats driving a car almost every time. Think of all the shit that you can do on the bus that you can't do while you're driving. Okay? You can read on the bus. You can sleep on the bus. You're actually required to be drunk on the bus. So all things you shouldn't do behind the wheel. You drive a car, you got to find parking, right? Who cares where the bus parks? What does it park at the bus driver's house? It's parked at some kind of bus airport? I don't care. That's the bus captain's problem now. I'm out of there. Also, when you're in a car, you are alone, okay? If you're in an emergency on the highway, you're on your own, pal. You know, you're in an emergency on the bus. You got a whole team of people. All the other passengers are there to work with you. I see you, elderly Eastern European lady taking English classes. All right. I see you, businessman who recently got a DUI. I see you, 14-year-olds making out at the back of the bus, but I'm not watching you. That's creepy. That guy for sure is, though. That guy is for sure watching you. Everybody always worries about like crazy people on the bus, but it's honestly not a problem. I was on a bus one time where a guy was causing a problem. I would call this guy a Proud Boy, but I think even the Proud Boys would be ashamed of this particular guy. And after a couple stops, we as a bus collectively decided that it was his stop. it was time for this guy to get off the bus. You will never feel a sense of community. I don't care how many like team building, bonding workshops your job sends you on. You will never feel connected to other people the way that you do when you and 20 strangers boo a person off the bus. If you ever have the opportunity to boo a racist off the bus, I can't recommend it enough. But you know who really hates buses? Guys who drive big trucks. Guys who drive trucks are, why would I ever ride the bus when I got this big cool truck? I'm not gonna ride. I bought this truck. I'm gonna drive my truck. Okay, let me ask you this, guys who drive trucks. What bigger truck is there than the bus? All right. Oh, you drive a little F-150. Oh, that's adorable. Here's the thing. The numbers in the truck indicate how much weight the truck can haul. So like an F-150 can haul 1.5 tons, although most of the time it just hauls a Trump flag and like 180 pounds of bitter uncle. But an F-150 can haul 1.5 tons. If the bus was a truck, it would be an F6000. The bus is the coolest truck on the road. I actually think this is how we can bring America together, okay? Get all those guys who love trucks to be bus drivers. They get to drive the biggest, coolest thing on the road, and we all get cheap, reliable public transportation. It's a win-win. We'll even let them put truck nuts on the back of the bus. Okay? Within reason. Something tasteful, pastel colors, you know, that whole thing. Thank you guys so much. I've been Nicole. Please take the bus and go see Nobody out in theaters now.
All right. That was great. Nat and Nicole got us off to a great start.
Okay, now we have our honorable mention for our international climate comedy video competition. And this one is called Among Us Climate Change Edition. And I don't know how many people out there have been playing a lot of Among Us since the pandemic hit, but I'm one of them. So it made me love this video.
CO2 killed coral reef in Medbay. Oil and gas was there. I knew they were sus.
Where was everyone else?
I was watching Boomer fail the card task. And
Is my headset working? Is my headset working?
Honestly, coral reefs could have died of natural causes.
Not in a video game, GOP.
Look, I'm just asking questions. I'm not voting.
Me too. I only vote in person.
Economy is dead in admin.
Oil and gas is venting and CO2 is killing.
I'm venting and working with the GOP and CO2 to kill the economy. Come on, fellas.
Look, the economy was completely fine when I was in charge of it.
Boomer, you watched them kill the economy right in front of me.
Facts. Oil and gas killed the economy. CO2 killed the coral reefs. Hey, fam, stop flexing and vote. Yeet.
Sounds socialist.
Well, I'm not part of the problem. I'm part of the solution.
Nah, let's vote. Okay.
Finally, I did it, millennials. Oh, dag nabbit.
And right now, let's just keep it going. I want to keep things moving along. Sasha Stewart is coming to the screen right now. And Sasha is a TV's writer whose latest series is Amend, the Fighting for America, starring Will Smith. Suck on that. Okay? That's all I got to say. Give it up for Sasha Stewart.
Hey guys, so before I get started, I'm just going to say that I am playing a character, and my character is a faux, rugged hipster ex-boyfriend, so just like heads up, okay? All right. Dear Julia, I know you said that you never wanted to speak to me again, So I'm hoping that this letter, which I'm writing to you on paper I handcrafted myself from old newspapers that I wet and mashed together and dried, doesn't count as speaking. Got you, babe. JK, I really miss you. I'm writing to tell you that the late pandemic has changed me, nay, transformed me. I was what you once so pejoratively described as a wannabe lumberjack. But since you kicked me out of our apartment in Boulder, I've been staying at an Airbnb in the mountains, and I'm a new man. An honest, true dirtbag and proud. And Julie, baby, I hate to say it, but your delicacy just couldn't handle it. Back when I forgot to call the exterminator and those cockroaches ate our tortilla chips, you got pissed. It's not your fault. It's society's fault for taming your nature goddess. No, babe. If you moved up here with me, you could awaken your inner mountain woman. I've rediscovered the ancient ways of being, made my own paper, and now I humbly profess that I'm living in a way that literally no one has before. For starters, I've invented a new way of harvesting food I call regenerative farming. Sure, native and indigenous peoples invented the techniques I'm using, but I've reinvented them by recording myself doing them and posting those hot hits to TikTok and reaping the likes as well as the food. Yes, nature is healing. Julie Bear, please hear me out. Did you know that you can turn your waste products like food scraps and garden waste and letters I tried writing to you on a like sort of corn husks type paper that didn't really come out right into fuel using a biogas digester? Probably not, because I basically created it from nothing. Nothing except my wits, my bare hands, and the kit that the biogas digester Reddit forum leader sent me after 5 easy payments. Now that I'm on my own, I mean, hopefully not for long, babe. Let me tell you that biogas digesters are next level composting. Jules, this may be really hard to understand, so I'm going to say it real slow. Basically, they're big bags that you feed shit into. Metaphorical shit like dead leaves, but also literal shit like cow shit, sheep shit, goat shit, shit. I've been reclaiming my neighbor Mary's cow manure. Sure, she asked me to stop because she like uses it to fertilize her garden or whatever, but like my needs are greater, you know? Because babe, I love you so much that I'm feeding this digester for 2. Knowing that you will come home and reclaim me. So now before you go accusing me of like mansplaining again, let me just say that women originally used these digesters to cut down on unpaid labor costs and waste, and if we as a society invested in more of them, we'd cut way down on carbon emissions. You know I'm obsessed with feminism, so by using these female methods, I'm literally breaking ground on the male feminist movement. I'm doing the work and putting ladies first. Except my neighbor Mary, I guess, whatever. So if you're brave enough to admit that you too could benefit from my vibrant, new, reinvented ways, meet me at the Airbnb address below. And please bring cash, because they'll kick me out in 2 weeks if I keep skipping rent and my parents cut me off. Thank you, love you, babe. Devin, aka aggressively average D.
Nice. Thank you, Sasha. That was fantastic. Okay, this next one, I don't want it to be any bias or anything like this, but Johnny Beaner happens to be my nephew. So I just know that you're going to love this next one. Johnny Beaner is a comedian. He was in LA and now he's living in Madison, Wisconsin. Enjoy.
Shit. Diarrhea. Poop.
Farts.
Look. Poop and farts are funny. Okay, we know that. It's a scientific fact. I was assigned the task of mining the topic methane digesters for humor. Okay, methane digesters, they're containment units that basically turn farts and poop into a usable energy called biogas. Now, making that more humorous is not an easy task at all, okay? I've basically been handed a rich cream frosted birthday cake and then was told, here, make this delicious. I mean, looks pretty good how it is, you know what I mean? But I'm going to give it a shot. My assistants explained to me that methane digesters, they control the decomposition of organic matter. So basically we're talking about, biogas or stinky farts to the layperson, and solid organic waste, more commonly known as a big greasy shit. So, and there actually happens to be a bus in the UK. It's known as the poo bus that actually runs 100% on biogas. That's what my background is here. It's a real thing. It runs 100% on biogas. And I couldn't help but think, like, what if that was the bus that Dennis Hopper had, rigged with a bomb in the movie Speed? It'd be a very different movie. Keanu Reeves would be up front. All right, everybody, we have to maintain 50 miles an hour or we're all dead. Okay, does anybody have bad gas, diarrhea? What's that? You had Taco Bell for lunch? Okay, get up here. You're going to be my point person. Get up here. Everybody push. Push. I don't know if that movie would be the cult classic status that it is today if it ended with the bus exploding into a big ball of flaming shit, but who knows? Maybe it'd be even better. I don't know. So my colleagues also informed me that the process methane digesters execute take place on both a large scale as well as a small scale. And I can't help but assume the small scale is, are you familiar with the term Dutch oven? Anybody? Okay, now, I'm assuming most of you are familiar with or have at some point fallen victim to the Dutch oven, but if you're unfamiliar, allow me to brighten your day. Okay, a Dutch oven or pressure cooker is basically the act in which an asshole snuggles up tightly to a loved one in bed and then pulls the comforter over their head while simultaneously ripping an oily fart. The loved one is then left trapped underneath the blanket, begging for either freedom or a painless aneurysm to end their life. Now, survivors of the Dutch oven often exact their revenge by waiting until the perpetrator falls asleep and then pissing on their face or simply pooping in the glove compartment of their automobile. Now, neither of these revenge tactics have anything to do with methane digesters, but I thought it was important for you to know your options. I am Johnny Beaner, and I approve of this message. Thank you.
That was fantastic. Thank you, Johnny.
Well, great. Next up, we're going to hear Watch a Piece by Manolo Moreno, who, among other things, is co-host of Dr. Game Show and is based in Brooklyn, New York.
In ancient Egypt, earthworms were protected by Cleopatra's law. They were sacred to them because of how much they did to the soil. They ate food waste and moved around making holes that aerated the dirt for better moisture. It's that idea of just walking around and leaving a trail of good soil. The closest I came to that was when I was walking home after a night of drinking, and I left a trail of pee. That must be good for something, right? But no, it just made it easier for the cops to find me. Also, ever hear of a chicken? This is a chicken. They till the soil with their feet. Plus, plants love chicken poop. Does anyone like my poop? I don't like my neighbor's poop. I don't know why, but he does this every week. What I'm trying to say is that Earth likes when animals just do their thing, but not so much when humans do their thing. But what if humans doing their thing was good for the Earth? What if watching 6 Bridgerton episodes in a row made the Earth come? That's what I'm saying. Doing the right thing means going out of your way, and that technically makes it a chore. Also, when a crow puts something in the right place, they get a candy. When I put food in the compost, I get to go back into my apartment and feel my bank account go back to 0. That's why I invented this glove. It makes my hand till the soil while I do my thing. My thing is sleep, by the way. I think this will put me on the same level as the animals. If I do the right thing, maybe someone will protect me like the worms in ancient Egypt. At the very least, I just want the Egyptians to like me. Especially my neighbor Sefa. He's Egyptian.
I am Turkish.
Thank you, Manolo. That was a fantastic video.
Now we're going to shift gears and go back to the International Video Competition winners. This next one earned honorable mention as well, and this is called Recycle Fest 2021.
It's a great sign.
I'm excited, dude.
That's a great sign, man.
It's a little nothing, but you know,
yeah,
it's
maybe
all right.
a little bit more green.
A little more green. I'm just excited for this festival, dude. The
Organizers are like so ethical and so passionate about what they do. Like,
Yeah,
it's fucking
absolutely. Yeah,
jacked up. Like, I'm really excited about this.
I like how they don't wear bras.
Yeah,
That's my favorite part.
I mean, we all get something different out of it.
Yeah, that's right. Elliot, let's go.
I'm excited for this.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. You gonna walk with that?
You guys ready? Ready to hit it?
What the fuck?
You don't like the hat? The
I
hat's
hate
a little
the hat.
much.
It's not the hat.
The hat?
It's the face, man.
That's not good, right?
That's a bad look, man.
You guys said we were both gonna dress up. We were all gonna dress up for this event.
But like in like a business casual kind of way.
To support the movement. I'm dressed up. It's green face.
Whoa! Don't put a name to it.
No, that's not good.
That's not good, man.
Because it's
I'm supporting the movement. Like my parents have land with a lot of trees on it.
Wow, my God! My grandmother was a tree. You sick fuck.
Native American. Have you not seen Pocahontas? Trees are parents.
Okay, my sister. I know a lot of people that recycle.
You white cis? No, of course you don't get it. Of course you don't
If I'm
get
in the
it.
minority,
All right.
if I'll go change. I didn't know.
Not okay.
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 Not okay.
Okay.
Okay. Not okay. Okay.
Go
and
change.
Jesus.
Do you think I'm dressed okay?
You're a white man in a flannel. They'll know exactly what you stand
That's
for.
what I was thinking, and I'm not wearing shoes.
Oh, the Portland special, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. Then I could just I was gonna wave this lighter around, like at a concert. So it'll be.
That's a disposable lighter.
But it's got leaves on it.
It's got leaves on it, but it's also made of plastic and has butane in it.
I'll stand in the back.
Oh, okay, let's go. Yeah.
And that was Recycle Fest 2021, honorable mention from our video competition. And going back in again to our co-creation of climate comedy with our students and professional comedians, we have Millie Tamarez. And she is a stand-up comedian, a comedy writer, and a podcaster from Brooklyn, New York.
I just want to share a little bit about, what me and my group came up with. Yes, everything inappropriate was from my group, and everything great and genius-like is from me. And I'm not, and I'm not going to be shy about it. I'm not going to let, a group of white kids take credit of a Black woman's work. If I want to do that, then I just go to TikTok, right? But anyway, shout out to my group. Forgot most of your names. I think one of them's Drew and another one. I apologize for the rest. In my defense, 3 of them were high when we did our game. But in Colorado, it's the culture. I'm learning about my culture every day. So my group, we did, I'm sorry, I do anyway, I'm seeing them now and they look heartbroken. I do remember your names. Please follow me on Instagram. So I'm doing public transportation. So you might have remembered this great figure in American history, amazing president who was responsible kind of for the deaths of 500,000 Black and brown people due to the disease. We're talking about President Donald Trump. He had his whole platform on America First, right? So we're talking about America First, how America is like the best, how we should always think about our country first. But really, a major development in our country hasn't come until Joe Biden's Joe Biden's actually proposing now a $2.25 trillion infrastructure plan. And it's really exciting. And that's actually going to put America first. With Amtrak has suggested that with this 2.25 infrastructure plan, we call it the jobs plan, we can really expand our Amtrak lines. Now, everything that's dark blue is what we currently have, and everything that's light blue is what we can do with some of this $2.2 trillion. And $2.2 trillion is a lot of money. And look at all the amazing things we can do from it. Like you can go from Wichita to Oklahoma City. That sounds like something someone wants to do. From Cheyenne to Colorado Springs. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to Indianapolis to Louisville. Okay, so now what we can do now, this infrastructure plan will really allow for migration from racist city to another racist city. It's important. But you're like, okay, and the crazy thing about this is what can happen after with part of the infrastructure investment in 2035. So if you're like, yo, Millie, but that's really hot, that's really veiny. That's the first. Look at France. That's a veiny map. That's the France passenger rail network map. That's a lot of veins. You could go to a lot of places. You know, are they cut? Are they uncut? Who knows? Well, we don't do France. You can go to nice here. So it's nice and veiny and throbbing. And this is already existing. Not in 15 years like this shit. Not now. Actually, I lied. This map is from 2018. So who knows what it's going to look like in 2035. Now you're like, Millie, that's France. That's like only one country. Blah, blah, blah. I'm a hater. Okay, fine. Okay, do I make up haters to make a joke on my comedy set? No, I have a lot of them. A lot of the states that don't have any, trains going through them are what we call, pretty red states, pretty Republican states that, vote overwhelmingly for to be first. So as I'm proposing, and my group proposed this, and I was like, okay, group, you guys are so crazy. I remember all your names. We proposed the red line, which is a big fuck you. That's a middle finger line. Of all the people who, want America to be first, but don't want to vote for any policies that, invest back into our infrastructure, this is the red line for you. Yes, I am aware that it is covering Arizona and New Mexico, and they flipped. But we'll deal with that when we do it. We'll cross that bridge when that bridge crumbles and kills thousands of people. Am I right? Our infrastructure is crumbling. This is also another line. This is a penis. This is the rainbow line. And that's because America's getting fucked because most of our tax dollars aren't going to public transportation. They're going into police departments that kill tons of Black people. So these are two lines that my group, I'm going to give them all the credit for this, came up with, to really, show appreciation for people that are really supported us.
Thank you, Millie. That was fantastic. As we segue to the next piece by Chuck Nice, Max, I was wondering if you could share some on a project that you and Chuck did together called 10,000 Teachers.
Yeah.
Chuck has been a wonderful collaborator. One of the things that we had done with Inside the Greenhouse in partnership with Pocket Lab and also with Chuck's Shh, It's Real project, actually had put together a Facebook Live production of this project called 10,000 Teachers, where Chuck and Pocket Labs and others recruited teachers and people, friends of teachers, to get involved all around the globe. It was truly a global event. It was stunning to me where people were tuning in from and saying where they were from in the chat. And Chuck was wonderful. We hosted together this 3+ hour Facebook Live event that aired in September.
You had a ton of guests, I remember.
Yeah, he's just been a powerhouse, and we've been really enjoying getting the chance to work with Chuck through this project.
It's really cool because he's a professional comedian and he's working with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he's doing so much to promote climate education for K through 12 education. So it's really cool. Definitely. And he's helping us with higher ed too.
And so now we can actually look at another piece that Chuck put together just for this show. This is a new video he calls House Fire, Everything is Fine. Enjoy.
All right, welcome everybody to the Day Drinking Book Club Without Books. Before we talk about books that we haven't read, how about a toast to alcohol, the glue that holds us together and causes our lives to fall apart.
To alcohol!
Oh, yeah. So, who would like to start us off with a book that we probably haven't read because we were too busy drinking?
I am dying to read The Codebreaker by Jennifer Doudna, and I'd read it too if I didn't have to make so much time for drinking.
Reading rocks. I mean, drinking.
I'd like to propose a toast.
I'll drink to that.
I haven't made the toast yet.
Beep, beep, beep.
Thank you, Tattoo. Well, it appears as though there's a small fire on the lower level, but no need for alarm. Let's all just stay calm. We'll establish a plan and then discuss how we should proceed.
Shouldn't we just leave?
Yeah, we should just leave.
Good talk, everybody. Hold on now. Not so fast. We don't want to hurt the book club by allowing left-wing hippie commie ideology to cloud our judgment. Plus, there are costs to consider.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Can we just go on 911?
Okay, 911 is going to want to call a fire truck, and they're going to want to use water, and that's going to cause water damage, and that's very costly. We need a plan that will actually put out the fire without causing so much damage. And of course, there's the cost to consider.
Makes perfect sense to me.
You're talking like a fucking idiot. Letting any fire burn will ultimately cost more than any water damage.
Okay, tone. And remember, name calling only drives people deeper into their beliefs, especially if they're in denial.
Seriously, this is not the time for talking.
Now is the time for action, and that action is leaving.
Okay, wait a minute. Do we even have a consensus that there is indeed a fire? Let's form a commission.
I smell smoke. That's it. I'm out.
Okay.
Gasp. He has a gun.
I'm going to ask that you all take a seat. What are you doing? You said take a seat. Sit down! All right, maybe you figured this out or maybe you haven't, but I need this fire. This house is heavily mortgaged, and this fire is gonna make me a pretty penny.
Oh my God. This is just like what Big Oil is doing with climate change. They get everyone talking and they do nothing while they keep making money.
And we all sit around ignoring the fire as the house burns down, just like we do with climate crisis. We sit down as our ecosystem crumbles.
This is fine. Everything is fine.
Well, as dialogue goes, that's a bit on the nose, but yes, that is the message. As long as we're talking about climate and nothing's being done, I'm making money. So will you excuse me if I lift the smoking restriction? Because it's a fire, see?
Actually, that's a toy gun.
Really? Because I'll do it.
You are greedy and despicable.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
You throw a great party, and you're a great guy.
Thank you, Chuck. That was fantastic. And you may have noticed in the first video and then in this one that Chuck is featuring his lovely little daughter, who is adding a lot to his comedy. That was a reference to Fantasy Island. She was Tattoo. I don't know if anybody remembers that. That was one of my favorite shows. And next up for comedians working with our students, it is Anne Victoria Clark, a comedy writer from New York City.
So when I first started pod traveling, people were like, Anne, traveling with a group of people in a car isn't a new thing. This is just carpooling and you gave it a different name. And I was like, who are you? Get out of this car. I'm going to cut your face. But now that I won this award for solving climate change, I can tell that weird car stranger that pod traveling, where you travel in a car with people from your COVID pod to travel more efficiently to shared destinations, is a new thing, and I invented it. And it has won me this award for saving the earth. And I'm sorry for cutting your nose off in the drive-thru of that Wendy's. Yes. There were haters along the way. There were people who said, carpooling won't make a difference, but that was Gina, and she's the worst. Like, she had like 30 people at her house for Veterans Day, and we went over there and we were like, I don't mean to be rude, but it's COVID. And she was like, whatever, my dad owns a Land Rover dealership. And we were like, don't you know how bad that is for the earth? And she was like, you guys don't even follow me on Instagram. And I was like, that is so awkward to point out. Like, I can't believe you would be talking about Instagram when it's COVID. Gina, if you're listening, I'm sorry for cutting your nose off in that come and go parking lot, and I hope you find it. Anyway, the point is, Gina was wrong. Pod traveling, which again is where you travel with your COVID pod in a shared vehicle, can reduce CO2 emissions by over 4 gigatons. That's right, gigatons. That's a number that's so big, they just had to make up a nonsense word for it. And now, after decades and decades of other people doing research and activism, I and Victoria Clark have solved climate change with this brand new thing that I invented. Every day, my pod and I get up and we travel all the hell around. We go to the beach. We go to the pharmacy. We go to Build-A-Bear. Because that's basically everything that's open right now. By simply doing this in a shared vehicle, we are literally saving the earth. Because everyone is getting vaccinated and the Pandusical, the musical, is winding down. It doesn't mean that you can't pod travel. You can think of your own name for carpooling and just submit it as a different idea for this award next year and win it yourself. I mean, I beat Greta Thunberg out for this, and she's still on her way to this ceremony via kayak, which is weird because it's on Zoom. But I hope wherever she is in the North Atlantic, she knows that she's an inspiration. And I also hope she's sharing that kayak, because otherwise that's like really wasteful of kayaks, and also it's like COVID. But yeah, okay. So thank you so much to the Academy and the Earth, and don't forget to pod travel, everyone.
Woo! That was great. Next up is Ben Glebe, who has been a great collaborator as well. He is host of Idiot Test. He has a stand-up special, Neurotic Gangster, that is free on YouTube and is also on Amazon Prime. You may know him from many of his appearances everywhere. We're trying to keep these intros short, but each one of these comedians is well accomplished. Ben Glebe is no exception. Enjoy.
Thank you so much. Look, people, there are some simple truths, okay? It's healthier for you and for the planet to eat a plant-based diet. We all know that, but most of us also ignore it. Am I saying I'm better than you? Yes. But I eat meat. I'm just better for other reasons. Like meat, so what? I personally don't even consider it a meal if it wasn't killed and then eaten because it's oh so juicy. I like meat any way I can get it. I prefer it from factory farms. Yes. I like meat that's never lived a real life. That way they want to die. So I'm kind of doing them a favor. Plus, the good thing about eating animals from factory farms pumped full of antibiotics is then you get some of those antibiotics as well. And it makes you strong. If by strong you mean susceptible to more diseases with resistance to medicine. Look, everybody's always going on and on about climate change, but I don't buy it. Unless you're one of those people who believes 98% of scientists. It's not me. I'm kind of a go with your gut guy when it comes to science. My gut's got tons of rotting meat in it. Yum. You want to know why I don't believe in climate change, by the way? Look at the hidden messages, people. Break down the word climate. Climate. See? Lie, mate. See, mate, it's a lie. It's a lie because I make baseless extrapolations and I'm very stupid. Also, side note, I'm Q. Sometimes I think it's not American to eat meat. But then I think, how strong are your American values if they're challenged by white people with dreads? Those dudes are always vegan, and I'm not letting that dude decide for me what I eat. I don't have to eat meat just to rebel against the guy who teaches Pilates. You know what sounds terrible, by the way? Pilates. You know what sounds amazing? Pie lattes. But lattes just have milk in them. That's an animal byproduct. It's not actual meat, which is a step up at least. Sometimes I think, sure, plants are technically food, but it's pussy food. And then I realized the only people who eat pussy are cool people who are givers. Which is why I've been rethinking my ways. Even someone as stupid as me has been giving all this meat eating a second thought. I guess we have to ask ourselves a philosophical question. If you keep eating meat, at what point do you end up being Army Hammer? How do you cross that line? Plus, I guarantee you the Capitol rioters, all meat eaters. Except the horns guy, who apparently was vegan, only ate organic. Point is, if you're loyal to your country, maybe it's actually patriotic to not eat as much meat. And also, definition of terms, plant-based diet doesn't mean you can't eat meat at all. It's plant-based. You can put meat on top of the base. Just start with plants. Maybe it'll make you eat less meat. Good compromise. Because being vegan might be too strict for most people, but eating meat is unhealthy. So I feel like being mostly vegetarian is a good middle ground we can start with. And it's one I think even the animals would be okay with. If they could talk, they'd be like, wait a minute, you're only going to use us for milk, butter, and cheese? So you're going to stop killing us and just sometimes you'll play with our tits? Deal. I will leave you with this. Stop naming your plants. Sure, it makes them live longer and be healthier, but we don't want that. We want to eat them alive. And you can't kill something you name. And if we're going to save the planet and the lives of millions of animals, we got to kill something. So plants, sorry fellas, but your time is up. And if you're uneasy with that, just remind yourself of this. We all kill our plants anyway. By accident. So let's save the planet and do it on purpose. Ben Glebe, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben Glebe. That was fantastic. Okay, next up now we're going back to the International Video Contest. This was third place, and the name of the film is Future Interviews About Climate Change.
What has decarbonizing the economy done to your inheritance?
What do you think it's done? This isn't even a real fur. Oil has gone the way of the BlackBerry. It was a type of phone.
Why don't people need inhalers anymore? What's going on?
Do I sound like I'm wheezing? I mean, like, they're like, oh, let's make cars clean. Let's make planes not gassy anymore, you know? And so, like, now the air's great.
In 2021, carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere reached 416 parts per million, and now they're steadily dropping. What do you think about that?
Sounds like what's happening to my bank account.
Hi, do you mind if I ask you something? What do you think of, like, the amount of parks? Do you think there's maybe, like, a little too many?
No. I mean, I love having so many green spaces, so many places to take my dog.
Okay, thank you, idiot.
So how has the end of animal farming impacted climate change?
It's been, like, super dope. Like, about 30 years ago, animal farming made up, like, I want to say 18% of greenhouse emissions, so that's not going on anymore. That's pretty good.
What have you been doing since you escaped slaughter?
Just working on myself, doing a lot of yoga, kind of really on my eat, pray, love thing. We got into astrology.
Well, fantastic. We have 2 more winning videos to come, second place and first place. Before we get to those and more of our comedians who've co-created content for the show with our students, I do want to announce one of 2 awards that we have every year. We have, in this case, a Creative Climate Communicator Award. This year's 2021 Creative Climate Communicator Award goes to DJ Kavum. He is one who coined the term eco-hip-hop. He's from nearby Denver, Colorado. He's more than just a rapper, though. He's an activist, he's an educator, and he's a vegan chef. He's performed at the Obama White House, has been featured in Oprah magazine, and he has much more that you can find at his website, which we can put on the screen for you rather than me spelling it out. And then you can also purchase his music on iTunes or Apple Music. We're thrilled to be giving this 2021 Creative Climate Communicator Award to DJ Kavum.
And if you go to his website, you can also buy some of his seeds, which looks cool. And we also have a citizen award that we give. And this one goes this year to Chantel Villadue. She's somebody I've worked with a lot, and she just makes it happen in terms of live performance, theater performance, and climate change communication. She's originally from Canada, doing her work in New York City, but her reach goes around the globe. Her climate change theater action, I've done it the last 2 times it's been in existence. And what it is it's she gets 50 playwrights from around the world to create these short 5-minute plays on a prompt around climate change. And she has these created in time for the months preceding COP, the Conference of the Parties, that global conference on climate change that happens every 2 years. And this year she's doing it. And she's also a playwright and a translator, but her cycle, especially the Arctic cycle, is something that she's doing now. She's going to be representing every country that is in the Arctic cycle and doing a play, but they're really beautiful plays. So congratulations to Chantel Villadue.
So congratulations to our 2021 awardees, well-deserved DJ Kavum and Chantal. And really, if you just out there engage in important and fantastic creative climate communication work, you too can win an award in future years. So we're gonna shift again back to the co-created work with our students. And next we're gonna hear from Elise Morales. And she is a voice actress and a comedian who contributes to Betches, among many other things. And she's from Brooklyn. Over to Elise.
Hello everyone. Wow, what a thrill to be here. I made a video for you today. My group, Our Climate Solution, was carpooling. And I thought, what better way to bring together millennials and Gen Z than to make a TikTok? So I did learn to make TikTok for this. And you're not going to be getting like a ton of facts and figures from this video because I stopped learning new things like many years ago. But what I wanted to focus on for all of you, since it's been such a long time since we've all had the opportunity to ride share, I wanted to focus on the different people that you get to meet and the different opportunities that ride sharing brings into your life. So without further ado, this is our video, the 5 people you meet in an Uber pool. Oh, also, I think there might be a typo in it, so just like don't fucking say anything.
Oh my God, Kim, that's like not, thank you. That's not what I'm saying at all. I can't believe that you guys think that about me. Like, Kimberly, and that is not what I'm saying. If you're honestly gonna take her side over me, then like, I guess that's what you're gonna do, but I don't remember Cassie being there when you killed that. It's not a threat, Kim. I'm just saying, like, watch your fucking back. Yo, is this an Uber for Mark? I just want to say, before we even get started, that I'm not going to throw up. I'm seriously not. Okay, but let's just say I did throw up, though. You maybe have, like, a purse or, like, something that you don't want to use ever again. Uber for Chris? Oh my God, Amy? Great to see you. It's really great to see you. No, I don't have that job anymore. I got a promotion. Well, 3 promotions, but you know, how about you? You're still at the same place. That's great. Oh, yeah. I put a ring on it. Our time together. It really taught me, and this is going to sound crazy, but it really taught me what I didn't want. And I mean that in the most respectful way possible. My girlfriend, she's a model of underwear and bras. Oh my God. Jashly? Rebecca. Gemily. Sure, we've met before. A pool party with the clown that was like all crazy. I've definitely, okay, what is your Instagram handle? No, I've never heard of that. First cousins? I'm definitely sure I've seen you before. You know what it is? You look exactly like my mom. Amy, whoa. Yo, me and this chick used to bone. We used to bone hardcore, remember? For like a whole summer. Yo, I sent you a couple dick pics a while back. Did you get them? You did get them. Okay, no response. That's cool. You still desperate, or not to brag, but I have a bed frame now. I'm a really good person. You still look good though. Seriously. You'll probably be getting a picture from me later.
Hooray!
Thank you, Elise. That was fantastic. Okay, next, you may think, wait, Beth, you already just said that your nephew was performing, but as it turns out, I'm the youngest of 10 children, so I have a lot of nephews. And this next one is also my nephew and much beloved, Scott Biener, actor, comedian. He's in LA. He was a part of the main company of the Groundlings for years. He's been in many movies, TV shows. Welcome to Scott Biener.
Hey everybody, how are you? Listen, I've got some things I want to get off my chest about nuclear power. But before I do, I do want to just say how honored I am, you know, to be here talking to you, University of Colorado. This means a lot to me to be here. Also to be on the bill with my brother, Johnny Beaner, who's one of the comedians you're going to see a little bit later. Yeah, and then Mary Beth Osnes, of course, who's one of the professors that put this whole thing together. She's actually my aunt. She got me interested in performing and when I was a kid. So shout out to her. And then, of course, my dad, who's no longer with us, he switched to the Colorado State Zoom show that's happening right now. Jokes against gerrymandering. He feels that's, I guess, a more pressing issue than climate change, which is weird because, as a kid, my dad always used to say to us, it's great. We're so lucky that we get to grow up in America and, do whatever we want, but just, make sure whatever you do that you do it with nuclear energy because it's so safe and efficient, which I always tried to apply as a 9-year-old. But then, as the life would have it, you grow up, you get older, you start seeing the world differently. And, if you know me, I kind of became the black sheep of the family, kind of a renegade. You probably don't notice I have kind of a renegade look about me. So I am now vehemently opposed to nuclear energy with a passion. But it's the kind of passion that I haven't done anything about it or done any research or asked anyone any questions about it. But when I signed up for this show, though, we all got paired with a group of students who are environmental scientists, and they were a little distraught when they heard my views on nuclear power. I should say my view. It's just the one view that but in talking to my team of scientists, I was made aware that it's kind of great. The first thing that anti-nuclear power advocates think of when they think of nuclear power is nuclear waste, right? That's one of the big issues. Sure, it's nice that you can make a Thanksgiving dinner for 62 people in 2.3 seconds, but what about all the nuclear waste we're making? And I was under the impression that it's the kind of thing where you flip a light switch and immediately create a chunk of nuclear waste the size of the moon. But apparently my team explained to me that you can actually run every appliance in your house 24/7 for a year, and the total amount of nuclear waste that you will create from that would fit in a soda can. But I know what you guys are thinking because I'm thinking the same thing. We've all come home drunk at night, opened the fridge to slam one last beer before we conk out, and then realize, hey, that wasn't beer, that was ranch, or that wasn't beer, that was mayonnaise, or, you know where I'm going with this. That wasn't beer, that was a dozen eggs. When we're drunk, we don't ask ourselves, the hard questions. Should I open my eyes? Should I slow down? Should I make sure what I'm swallowing matches what I intended to swallow? Does beer come packaged in 12 identically sized egg-shaped shells? But so my big hesitancy with nuclear waste has always been, I don't want to be the guy that sits down in his lazy boy, slams a beer, and then thinks, why did that taste so weird? It's because it's the nuclear waste that I use from making my appliances work 24/7 for a year. And I know that I'm not the only idiot out there. I know if I made that mistake, other people will. And I feel that's all America needs is for half the country to be walking around, as zombies because we drank nuclear waste. But my scientist team assured me that that is actually not a thing. Drinking nuclear waste does not turn you into a zombie. Scientists agree, but also people that are against nuclear power for reasons that make sense to them, even they agree with scientists that drinking nuclear waste does not make you a zombie. That's strictly something that I came up with, I guess, just from watching sci-fi movies and not paying attention to what's going on, or I don't know. So rest assured, take that off your plate. That's not a problem. And then another thing that my team, Science Force 6000, that's the name of the scientists that I'm working with, they also explained to me that, if you do run your appliances for a year for 24/7, at the end of that year, the power company's not necessarily going to drive to your house and give you a can of nuclear waste. They will hold on to that, or they'll that's their responsibility. That's part of what power companies do. So, you don't have to worry about that. So, I guess my feeling after working with this team is that, if you have the opportunity to switch to nuclear power, I would go with it. So that's how I feel. Hey, you're a great audience.
All right, that was Scott Beener. That was wonderful. And so up next, we have Raleigh Williams, who's been a real friend of Inside the Greenhouse for the last years. He, not to spoil it, is also one of our winners of the International Video Competition coming up, but he's, in this case, also has been working with our students in the classroom. He's a comedian, but he's also a climate science and policy graduate student at Columbia University in New York City. He grew up out here in Colorado, but he's been doing his work over there in New York City for some time. Enjoy Raleigh Williams, everybody.
Thank you guys so much. So my group, we wrote a script for a video. So the video is going to play.
Okay, I know we're all finally starting to forget about the movie 300, but do you remember that scene from the hit movie 300 where that deformed goblin guy wanted to be part of the Spartan army, but Gerard Butler was like, no, you're not strong enough, you gotta be jacked out of your mind, roided out biceps, you gotta have an 8-pack, you gotta have those abdominal lines that some people call cum gutters, but I think that's gross and I don't say that. You gotta be over 6 feet tall. You gotta have inexplicably perfect teeth in the year 480 BC to fight in the Spartan army. Do you remember that? Where they wouldn't let him fight because he wasn't perfect, and then the Gigantor Persian guy and his army of ninjas and rhinos killed them, and that maybe if Gerard Butler hadn't had such impossibly high standards, he would have let the goblin guy contribute and they might not have died. Do you remember that? Well, it turns out that that subplot from the very current movie 300 is an awful lot like the world failing to invest in making geothermal energy. What is geothermal energy? Ugh, great question. Okay, you know how the center of the earth is just super goddamn hot and there's a ton of magma inside of it and sometimes it freaks out and makes a volcano? Well, it just so happens that along tectonic fault lines, it's pretty easy to harness that heat, and we can use that heat energy to make clean, guilt-free electricity. Today, over 20 countries have fully working geothermal plants. And guess who's #1, baby? I'll give you a hint. It ain't Sparta, it's America. America made 17 billion kilowatt hours of geothermal energy in 2020, including 10% of the energy used in the entire state of Nevada. You may remember Nevada as that state where Las Vegas is, the city with 150,000 hotel rooms that all have air conditioners working 24/7. That is tens of thousands of tons of carbon dioxide not put into the atmosphere because we're using completely clean geothermal energy. We're currently using only like 6% of the available geothermal sites the planet has to offer. With just a tiny bit of infrastructure investment, we could have some more guaranteed clean energy and take the burden off of the bigger players like wind and solar. It'd be like if Goblin Guy said, look, I know I cannot use my shield to hit a guy into the air like he was a wiffle ball, but maybe I could hide behind some rocks and poke him with a spear a few times, you know, help you out. But trying to get governmental support for geothermal projects is a lot like talking to Gerard Butler. No, geothermal, you're not strong enough. You only provided 0.4% of America's energy, your 8-pack is more of a 2-pack, and your abdominal lines couldn't gutter to save their lives. Geothermal is never going to be a magic bullet solution. But Batman doesn't kick Alfred out of the cave for not being able to throw a batarang. The Avengers don't fire Hawkeye for being just a regular dude who loves archery, even though they're fighting against literal gods. And we shouldn't discount geothermal just because it's not going to be the 100% solution. Plus, here's the upside. Geothermal is a constant power source that doesn't completely shit the bed when there's no wind blowing, wind energy, or when it's nighttime out, solar energy. Geothermal has the possibility of making up 2.5% of the globe's energy demand by 2050. And we shouldn't say, no, it's not 100%, get the fuck out of here, geothermal. We should say, thank you so much, you weird little goblin guy, do your thing. Plus, in this metaphor, if we don't let geothermal contribute, it will get embarrassed and go tell climate change about the secret path, and climate change will kill us with its army of ninjas and rhinos. And I super lost the thread of the metaphor here, but geothermal good, abs good, being exclusionary about your renewable energy portfolio is bad. Thank you so much.
Thank Thank you, Raleigh, giving it up for geothermal energy. And we have a
Great
comedian,
video.
Christy Buckley, who is here from Denver, Colorado. Thank you for joining us in our state of Colorado as we show the world that we are funny too. Give it up, Christy.
Today I'm going to be talking about telepresence, which is exactly right. It's Zoom. Okay. Like you guys would be even surviving this time without Zoom. Okay. I don't think this is like a competition, but like, if it is, which I'm always living my life that way, I think that my group has won because we couldn't even do this whole thing without telepresence. So you're welcome. Telepresence obviously cuts down on pollution because we're not driving everywhere. And it's brought back that fun thing where your boss can have a meeting instead of just sending an email like they should have. So that's always good. Very happy. My cat finally gets to be a part of my act, which she's very happy about because she's been writing my jokes this whole time. It's a real Catatouille situation. Anyways. They are putting Zoom. They're putting everything on telepresence right now. Like everything's on Zoom. They're doing Zoom weddings. I love Zoom weddings, you guys, because I'm not trying to go to your like pre-divorce, and that's what I call weddings, pre-divorce. And I also I always love it because during the ceremony, when the pastor says "Speak now or forever hold your peace," you can just hit the mute button and whisper to yourself, "I give you 3 years tops," and that's always nice. You get to say it out loud. We're also making court happen on Zoom now, which is so cool. Like so many people were already wearing sweatpants to court, but now it's like, appropriate, so that's nice. It is kind of like the worst Judge Judy episode ever, but it is nice again to just be flipping off the DA just right out of frame, just right before he gives you that sentence. They're also moving DUI classes onto Zoom. That is awesome. I wish I could have done my DUI classes on Zoom. That way I could have drank during the class rather than in the car before I went inside. So that would have been super nice. There is a little bit of carbon footprint from Zoom, but just let your professors know that 96% of your carbon footprint is cut down because or when you turn your camera off, 96% of your carbon footprint is turned down when you turn off your video. So tell them, I'm not turning on my video. I'm here. Trust me, you know, and then, but do please remember to mute yourself when you're taking bong rips. Also, under 5 bong rips, or else you're gonna undo all the carbon footprinting saving you're doing with taking the video down. And last but not least, you guys, everything's moving telepresence, man. Everything. Exercise classes. My roommate's been taking yoga teacher training. That's been nice. I was listening the other day, and they took a break, and in the middle of class, the instructor, who had turned off their video but did not turn off the sound, we had a special treat, an extra lesson where we got to listen to him have sex with his girlfriend. So that was super good. This is a true story, and I'm gotta tell you, we learned some really cool modifications on downward dog that day. That was super awesome. They did say namaste when they came, if you want. Anyways, so thank you so much, Zoom, for allowing us to do this. And this is my last Zoom show I fucking ever. So glad I could do it with you guys. Thank you so much. I'm Christy Buckley.
So from altitude here in Colorado, back down to Sacramento, California. Next up is Lowell Jensen. He's a comedian and storyteller, and his newest comedy special is Not for Rehire, that's on Amazon Prime right now. Over to Lowell Jensen.
Give it up for me.
Yes.
Give up driving your cars for me. We need to convince people to take public transportation. That was my group. We talked about that. We set that goal. Number one complaint I hear about public transportation is that guy. There's always that guy on the bus or on the train, and some of you have probably been that guy before, and if not, how are you living? You know, get out there and be that guy once in a while. We all deserve that, within reason. Don't be that guy, but just that guy, you know? Here's the thing. I don't think that guy is really what's stopping people from taking public transportation, though. Look at New York. The subways are packed because they're efficient. They go where you need to go. So people deal with that guy. In New York, that guy often gets tipped. That guy has become a professional, that guy. That's what he does he's a feature rather than a glitch. And as we saw from the pictures of the New York subway, public transportation doesn't have to be that great. It just has to be better than sitting in traffic. It's a low bar. We can do this, you know? I took the bullet train when I was in China from Shanghai to Suzhou, and it was great. There was no that guy, but of course that guy in China gets taken away pretty quickly. I had to make a lot of effort to hide my that guy-ness the whole time I was there, except on stage. On stage I could be that guy and claim I was just playing the role of that guy. But the train was clean. The train went fast. It went very fast. How fast? I don't know. A bunch of kilometers per hour. But I'm an American, so I don't know what a kilometer is. But it was a lot of them, and it was impressive. It seemed like a big number. People ask what it felt like to be on a bullet train, and it just felt like being on a train. It builds up its speed slowly. I don't know. Bullet train gives the impression it just boom like a roller coaster, but it didn't. Although maybe it should. I think that's what would get Americans to support it. If it was a little more exciting, call it the Baja Blast bullet train. Maybe put in a couple of loop-de-loops. And I think we'll have them all over the country. And then we can be big and veiny like we need to be. To make this happen, we need the people with money to support public transport. Obviously, should we remind them that they don't like having to share the freeway with all the poor people and middle-class people? Especially as the trajectory is to make more poor people? Wouldn't they rather have them crowd together on trains? Make owning a car a luxury again. Can we print that on red hats? Also, we have to let the very rich think that it's their idea, okay? When Elon Musk came out and proposed digging tunnels, the wrong response was to say, Elon, isn't that just a subway? No, the right response is to go, my God, Elon, you are a genius. Those tunnels, you brilliant man. A tunnel, who would have thought of it?
Yeah. All right, thank you so much, Keith. That was fantastic. Okay, Keith really brought us into this idea of public transportation. It just so turns out that Erickson Just has something to add too, in terms of what would be a great idea for public transportation. He's a comedian from LA. Thank you, Erickson Just.
Why don't we make buses more like planes? Why don't we gut the insides of these United Airline flights and start putting them into the interiors of BART buses? Imagine being able to ride your route, not only 6 feet away from your neighbor, but with the ability to recline and watch in-flight entertainment, to have a stewardess attending to you, to give you a Coke complimentary. I want to bring to buses the type of luxurious experiences that was only available to people back in 1952, with the exception of the smoking and the sexual harassment.
That was great insight from Erickson Just. Thanks, Erickson. We're going to turn back to the video competition. We're going to hear again from Raleigh Williams, the inimitable Raleigh Williams, who is at Columbia University in New York City. He has the second prize, much coveted second prize in the international video competition. This is called 2 minutes of fact-checkable climate facts for skeptics. Enjoy.
Just don't expect it to be 2 minutes long.
Exactly.
Hey there. Let's see what people are saying about climate change on the good old internet.
Always been changing. It is a liberal hoax to take my truck away.
Cool. Hi, I'm Raleigh Williams, climate science grad student, and the guy who's got to get that laptop after this. Damn it. A lot of people have been lied to about climate change, and it's hard to tell what's real. But if you give me 2 minutes of your time, I can give you some extremely fact-checkable evidence that might help convince you that climate change is happening. Welcome to Climate Town. Okay, number one, every oil, coal, and gas company has admitted that climate change is real and humans are causing it. All of them. All of them. Now, they have super good lawyers, so they probably won't face any consequences for their actions. But after years of loudly denying climate change, they have finally all quietly accepted the blame. And you don't have to take my word for this. Just Google climate change and then the name of any oil company and go buck wild on their corporate website. Here are the climate change is real sections of BP, Exxon. Just wait. Goose in the shot? Yep. Hey man, can you grab that laptop? Number 2, all of America's insurance companies and economist groups agree that climate change is slowly taking a baseball bat to the balls of the American economy. All of them. Conservative, liberal, young, old, Dracula. They're not being paid off by big climate, because that's not a thing. And just to be clear, this is not theoretical. Actual insurance companies are paying billions of dollars because there are more fires and floods and droughts and storms and heat waves. I mean, there's always going to be 1,000 bing-bongs on Twitter talking shit about climate change, but the people whose actual job it is to predict risk are saying climate change is just number 1. And number 3, every scientific community in every country in the world agrees that climate change is dangerous and we have a limited amount of time to stop it. All of them. These are not political, they're not partisan, they're just scientists in their science labs doing science shit. They're pouring beakers into smaller beakers, they're looking at air, and they're using computers. They are not in cahoots. In fact, they're actively trying to prove each other wrong because that's how you get to the top of the science community. Punch the line! Think about it. There are literal trillions of dollars in funding waiting for the first scientist who can prove climate change is a hoax. Don't you think it's a little weird that no one has come forward with the evidence? What are you doing? Hey, I'm talking to you. Did you poop here? Oh, okay, mature. Real mature. Fucking goose. So yes, a few extra carbon dioxide molecules in the atmosphere cooking a planet seems counterintuitive, but so does using electrified liquid crystals on a supercomputer the size of an Eggo waffle to watch a guy talk about climate change, yet here we are. We ask science to figure out things for us all the time, and they've figured out climate change so hard that even the companies with a financial interest in denying it have gotten on board. It's good to be skeptical, and it's stupid to blindly follow authority. But it's not exactly smart to get all your information from memes and some guy on Facebook. So just ask yourself this. What's more likely? That a shadowy cabal of all the climate scientists, economists, oil companies, and insurance firms in the world are involved in a 100-year conspiracy that's only ever been found out by an intrepid handful of uncles with a tenuous grasp on Photoshop? Or that email you just got that was the subject line, forward, you gotta see this climate change hoax, might not have been completely trustworthy. And that's it. Was that 2 minutes?
3 minutes.
Oh, way over. Okay, sorry. Thank you for watching if you got this far. If you want to send this to somebody who might be a skeptic, I think that would be good. Obviously, I'm not going to convince everybody, but if I can get 6 people to do a little Googling, that's probably worth it. Okay, I gotta get that laptop. I could just leave it. No, I can't. This is a climate thing. That'd be okay. Okay. I lost. There we go. There it is. Is this comedy? Is any of this funny? Was it worth it? Maybe. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Oh, God.
Thank you, Raleigh. Solid work. And we pass it on now to the 3rd installment of the pieces created for this show originally by Chuck Nice, this one called Only Climate Fans.
Go Chuck.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, you cute little maggot. Thanks for seeing me and purchasing the Platinum member session. So tell me a little about yourself.
My name is Bob, and I don't know, this is the first time I've ever done this.
Well, Bob, I'm going to call you Pervious. It's a play on Perseus because you are obviously a pervert and you seem to be on a mission. I can tell you want to talk filthy, dirty, disgusting filth.
Oh my God, yeah, you got me. Yeah, I heard that your sessions were, I don't know, life-changing.
They are, Perv. I'll call you Perv for short. You'll never be the same.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Whoa,
Let's do.
hold on there, cowboy. Before you get all Jeffrey Tubin on me, let me get you primed. When I'm done, you'll never look at these sessions the same way again.
Okay. All right.
Do you like it hot, Perv?
Yeah. Yeah.
How about so hot that the 10 hottest years on record all happened since 2005, and according to NOAA 2020 models project global surface temperatures will be more than 0.5 degrees Celsius, 0.9 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than the 1986-2005 average, regardless of which carbon dioxide emissions pathway the world follows.
What? Whoa, yo, who's Noah? Yo, you got some kind of dude in there with you? I mean, seriously, I'm a little confused. What's happening?
Oh, you need clarification. Well, how about this? The biggest misconception about climate change is that it's not global warming. Global warming causes climate change, and climate change has led to the current climate crisis.
Okay, seriously, what is going on here? Is this some kind of joke? Yo, did Richard put you up to this? Is this a joke?
Calm down, Perv. It's just that climate talk puts me in the mood. How about we talk positions?
All right, now we're talking. Like, what are we saying? Like a little, I don't know, reverse cowgirl, maybe the butter churner, a little salted pretzel, like.
Well, the fastest growing positions from now until 2026 will be green jobs. That's according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. How's that for sexy?
All right, please, lady, I'm serious. I'm just trying to have a good time. Maybe release a little tension, okay? I mean, this is seriously the worst sexual experience I've ever had.
I find that very hard to believe. I mean, you had to have disappointed plenty of women more than this. Would it help if the top came off?
My God, finally. Yes. All right, already. Yes.
No, it would not help. We are already losing too much topsoil, and soil management can play a key role in carbon sequestration.
All right, look, lady, I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but what the hell is wrong with you?
What the hell is wrong with everybody? We are only facing the greatest existential threat to humankind, and you're so worried about getting laid when we're all about to be fucked?
All right, well, can you tell me when that's going to be? Because I'd rather be there for that instead of this. At least I'm getting fucked.
Well, actually, it depends on the model, but scientists agree we are already seeing serious consequences due to climate change.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Well, this is kind of what you get when you feel entitled to objectify strangers on the internet.
I am still here. My camera just stopped working. Oh, my God. Now you're teaching me moral lessons, too? This is the worst. Jesus, I just wanted to tap one out, for God's sake.
Well, that was great. Again, another contribution from Chuck Nice, who's been a wonderful collaborator and a really brilliant human being. So now is the moment that some people have been waiting for. This is the 2021 Creative Climate Comedy Video Competition Award winner. This came to us from a group called the Climate Ad Project, and this is called Breaking Shocking Leaked Internal ExxonMobil Holiday Video. Here we go.
Number one, the winner.
Happy holidays from all of us at the ExxonMobil executive team. In these trying times, it's important to remember what matters most this time of year. Keeping our stock prices as high as possible. Our science elves are hard at work researching new technologies like algae biofuels, which we'll be sure to mention in all of our ad campaigns. Great work from the greenwashing team. But don't worry, that's only about 1% of our budget. And as of 2021, we'll be cutting the carbon capture department altogether. The rest is all oil and gas, you know, the good stuff. This holiday season, we're continuing our tradition of spreading more than just holiday cheer. We're spreading mass disinformation. Talk about gaslighting. In fact, this year, ExxonMobil is saving Christmas. After Santa's workshop was tragically burned down by Arctic wildfires, we generously relocated it to one of our offshore oil rigs. Isn't that right, lady? Our New Year's resolution, business as usual. By 2025, we plan to emit 17% more carbon. Of course, none of this would be possible without our employees. So thank you for your hard work this year. Sorry we couldn't tear it up on the dance floor like in 2016. Also, sorry about all the layoffs. And a very special thanks to all our friends in Washington for keeping us in business. Your holiday bonuses are in the mail. And me, I'm just hoping for a new pair of socks. and maybe a pipeline or two. Happy holidays from all of us at ExxonMobil.
Fantastic video. Congratulations again on winning the international video competition.
And Beth, maybe I can just point out real quick too that our previous winners from previous years you can find on our website, insidethegreenhouse.org. And there's been some great ones from the past as well.
Oh yeah, really good ones. So our next and our last comedian and student team submission is here from Dex Jordan, and he even used the students in the piece. So you're going to see even more of the students. He is a comedian and a comedy writer from LA. Enjoy.
All right, what is up, Chore House residents? Let's do a little roll call, guys. Who's here?
Present.
Oh, Allie, there you are. Sophie? Sophie.
Here.
Cool. Jacob?
What's up?
What is up, cool hat guy? Well, I'll tell you. I was going to pay down the mortgage on this here residence a little bit, so I sold 2 Bitcoin. Yeah, I won them playing strip Jenga at Burning Man in 2010. It didn't cost me a thing. I got real excited, as you will, so I tweeted about it. Campus Housing Authority caught wind of that, and they let me know, who knew, that I actually reversed 3 years of our house's carbon neutrality with that one transaction. Wow. Okay, so I'm a little in the doghouse. So what I got to do is actually fertilize the community cannabis garden for the next 3 years. And also they're making me ride my bike home to Florida instead of fly. But what does this mean for you guys? Well, in order to fertilize that garden real good, we're going to need to up our compost game at the house a little bit. It's getting kind of an afterthought. So let's work on the composting, huh?
Wait, you think composting is really gonna trap enough carbon to even make a dent?
Aha! You see, composting isn't just about creating fertilizer and growing more plants, thus creating a carbon sink. It's also about keeping that material out of the landfill. Because when it gets buried under like 10 years of old haunted mattresses and shit, it doesn't have enough oxygen to break down properly. It creates methane, a greenhouse gas. So by composting, we're creating less greenhouse gas. It's a double banger. You know what a double banger is? That's like when Jay-Z and Linkin Park got together and made an album. Double banger. All the ballers is bouncing, they like the way I be lean. That is some sick shit. Composting is sick shit.
Okay, are we not doing it right? We're not supposed to poop in the bucket, are we? Because if we are, I definitely have a squatty potty here.
No. Don't poop in the bucket. Don't. Okay, you guys don't remember what you can't compost. Here, let's go over it again. All right. So, no cheese, no bones, no meat, fish bones, cat litter, or cats for that matter. Well, you can compost cats, but it's different. Oil, milk, coal, the sticker that goes on fruit, no good. The fruit, great. Any of that kind of stuff. Eggshells, cool. Veggies, coffee, grounds, beans. The pizza box, that's cool. Take the cheese out, no cheese. But the pizza box is good. What do we get? Maybe you can do old newspapers, fake news, old house plants.
Wait, hold up. I remember you throwing out my house plant.
Well, that's because you threw up in your house plant, party boy.
Thank you, Dax. There it is, everybody. The 2021 Stand Up for Climate Change comedy show coming to you from Boulder, Colorado at the University of Colorado. Thank you for joining us.
This truly was a collective effort. Thanks to everybody who's been involved on screen, behind the scenes. This really was a huge pandemic effort. I will say next year we will be back in person. That is our goal.
But I think we'll add in this live stream aspect to it because these last 2 years with the pandemic, we've realized we could reach out to more people. So watch for it next year. You'll see student work. We hope to bring Chuck Nice here to Boulder, Colorado, and we'll be live streaming next year, Earth Day. Take care until then, everyone.
I got so much seats, I got no more land. Pull up on your block in that veggie van. Keep my broccoli local like I always did. Give me a bucket or two, watch my co-plan of the streets. I got so much seats, I got no more land.